What made you the villain of a story? My neighbor's dog kept getting into our yard and attacking my chickens. I'd lost 12 birds in 2 months, and these weren't just any chickens. My wife had raised them from chicks before she passed away from cancer last year. They were all I had left of her. Each time I talked to my neighbor Dave about it, he'd just shrug and say dogs will be dogs. He'd promised to fix his fence, but nothing ever changed. I even offered to split the cost of repairs with him, but he just walked away. I work nights at the factory, so I never caught it happening. But last Tuesday, I came home early with a migraine and saw the whole thing through my kitchen window. This massive pit bull had cornered my last 3 hens against the coop and was going for the kill. I grabbed my baseball bat and ran outside screaming. The dog bolted, but the damage was done. He's like 2 more chickens dead, blood everywhere, one barely alive with her wing hanging by skin. I had to put her out of her misery with my own hands. I was holding my wife's favorite hen, a little red one named Rosie, when Dave walked over. He saw me crying and actually smirked, said maybe I should build a better coop if I wanted to keep my birds safe. That evening, I knocked on his door with the vet bill and photos of the carnage. $300 in damages. He looked at the pictures, laughed in my face, and said prove it was his dog. Then he slammed the door so hard it rattled the windows. I sat in my truck for an hour just staring at his house. That's when I noticed his routine. Every morning at exactly 6, he left for his construction job. His dog stayed outside all day in a chain link fence that was barely standing. The next day I went to the farm supply store and bought the strongest animal tranquilizer they sell. Told the clerk I had a bear getting into my garbage and he didn't ask questions. I waited 3 days watching Dave's schedule. Friday morning I saw his truck pull out of the driveway. I gave it 10 minutes then walked over with the dart gun hidden in my jacket. The dog was aggressive at first, barking and jumping at the fence, but I'd brought some raw hamburger meat loaded with the tranquilizer. He gobbled it down in seconds. 20 minutes later he was out cold. I cut a hole in his fence, loaded the 100-pound dog into my truck bed, and drove 3 hours to the next county. Found a no-kill shelter in a small town where nobody would recognize me. I told them I found him wandering on the highway with no collar. Gave them a fake name and phone number. They were happy to take him since he looked healthy and well-fed. When Dave came home that evening, his dog was gone. He called the police first, then started posting on social media about his missing family pet. Put up reward signs all over town offering $500. The cops came by my house twice, asking if I'd seen anything suspicious. I looked him right in the eye and said no. Dave even confronted me directly, screaming that he knew I had something to do with it. For weeks, he knocked on my door demanding answers. Posted on Facebook calling me a dog thief and worse. Some of his friends started driving by my house real slow, giving me dirty looks. The whole neighborhood turned against me. People who used to wave now cross the street when they see me coming. My mail lady won't even make eye contact anymore. But here's the thing, I sleep better now than I have in months. My yard is peaceful. I can sit on my back porch without wondering if something is about to die. Last week, I bought 6 new chicks from the feed store. Little yellow ones just like the ones my wife used to love. They're growing fast and healthy in their safe coop. Dave still posts about his missing dog sometimes, still calls me a monster when he sees me at the grocery store. Everyone thinks I'm the villain who stole an innocent family pet. But they don't know what it's like to bury pieces of something you love every few days. They don't know what it's like to have your grief dismissed by someone who should understand. I never said a word about what really happened. Never will. My wife's memory is safe now, and that's all that matters. Worth every dirty look I get.